So here we are at part 2 of my favorite green colored pencils. If you haven't caught part 1, I will leave that up above and you can catch it there. And I'll say again that I'll have all these scanned and up on my website under color charts for you to download, or just look on screen if you're thinking about purchasing any of these colors or looking for a particular green. You'll be able to look at them there at your leisure. So these are what I term as muted or unique greens that I like. In the previous video, we talked about natural greens, bright greens, and olive greens. So this one is, as I said, muted and unique, and then we'll go on to cool greens, which I don't often like, but there are some more natural cool greens that I like to use, and that you need, if you're doing shadows and things like that. And then the dark greens, so I love. So without much further ado, this is going to be a little bit shorter than part 1. I will say that this took a long time to organize. I've been promising to do this for a while, but you really do need the time to sit down, go through everything, gather all the information about them when it comes to light fastness, which I won't be talking about on the video, but you'll see in the scans. I'll break down, for some reason I don't have that one. Anyways, I'll break down what these little codes mean. Oh, there's LF. I don't have it there. Anyways, I'm not going to go too much into that because this would be a very long video, but you will see it there. So, going on to the pencils that I'm using are mostly by Caran d'Ache, Derwent, Holbein, and Prismacolor. Prismacolor are the cheapest of all of these. They're very good. They do have some light fastness issues, but like I said, I won't go into too much of that. Let's just look at them as colors, because a lot of people do use them in sketchbooks or art that they're going to scan, so light fastness really doesn't come into it. So this is the Prismacolor Celadon, a nice muted green. Holbein Misty Green. Sap Green Light Prismacolor. And as you've seen in our other, let's see if I can find a sap green. That's quite a bit different. It's a very muted sap green. Holbein Mint Green. I'm trying to lean on this desk because I don't want the camera hopping about. And this is the Luminance Cobalt Green. You just see, like, with very little pressure, there's so much pigment in these Luminance pencils. Now the Pablo is the step down from Caran d'Ache's Luminance, but I still love them. They are my the pencils that I take with me when I'm out doing urban sketching. And this is the Luminance Light Malachite. It's verging on turquoise. Holbein Celadon Luminance Middle Verdigris. Just a beautiful color. And Holbein Surf Green. And Prismacolor Gray Green Light. Now a lot of these pencils will have on their barrel some information about their light fastness. For Holbein, it's right by the name. Pablo pencils, same. Luminance, they're on the further down. The name is up here, and then the light fastness levels there. Derwent light fast do not, oh they do include it, but some of the other Derwent pencils you have to look up. So back to swatching. This is Pale Sage. Holbein Opal Green. Holbein Willow Green. As I said in my last video, these Holbein pencils are beautiful, but they're very expensive. So not really your entry level into colored pencils. And they're still a little bit difficult to get, especially in Canada. And then these Derwent drawing ones are just so nice to use. You'll hear me rave on about them in the first video, so I won't go on too much about them here, but that's the Pale Cedar. They have very natural colors. There's only 24 of them. And Prismacolor Jade Green. Derwent Artist Green Gray. Derwent Drawing Craig Green. You can maybe tell by the sound when I'm swatching these out how smooth these ones are. They just put down so much pigment. And Green Shadow. And finally, Faber-Castell Polychromos Earth Green. There we go. So then we move on to cool greens. I said in my last video that I don't tend to like the stock greens that come in a lot of sets. They're usually a little bit too on the blue side for me, on the unnatural side, but you do need some bluey greens sometimes, but I still want them to look quite natural, and I think these fit the bill. This is Vivid Green. It's a little bright for me, and a little bit warmer than some cool greens, but to me it still leans towards that. peacock green, Prismacolor. Mineral green, Artist, Derwent Artist. So if you hear that in comparison to the Derwent drawing, it's so sandy, and that's so smooth. And Polychromos, Juniper Green. A little bit warmer than some of them. It could have gone into the natural category that I did, but I put it here for some reason. Now this is very, very cool turquoisey green, and this is Luminance Malachite. And then we get into the darks. And again, sometimes darks can be more blue. It's natural that you think of darker colors as adding blue to them. Shadows, you add blue sometimes. Although I've heard artists say that they use warm shadows as well. So again, you'll see some that could fall into the other categories, but they're in this one. So starting with Prismacolor Dark Green. I'm still looking for a more natural dark green. Oops, I should be having this separately. Dark Sap Green, Luminance. Bit cooler of a dark green in comparison. Holbein Forest Green. This could also fall into the cool category. Spruce Green, Light Fast. This is a nice muted dark green. I kind of scored on a recent trip to Buffalo. They had a clearance table that had a bag of Light Fast pencils, and they were absolutely all my favorite, mostly dark greens by Light Fast. Holbein Fir Green. A really, really nice dark green to go to. And Luminance Dark Phthalo. It's a little bit more of a yellowish sort of green. And then Light Fast Pine. And then Light Fast Racing Green. So now I'm able to, I already had some of these greens that were in that little grab bag, but now I'm able to put them into my my sketching colored pencils. And this is the Forest Green, which is almost like a brown. And And there we go. The muted greens, a little bit cooler greens that I like, and then the darks. You always need lights, middles, and darks to really make your artwork come together. All right, so that is finally the end of the colored pencil green category swatch out of my favorites, and I'm not sure if I'm going to do more along this line or not. It takes a whole lot of work, but I do enjoy doing it, and I like seeing other people do things like that, especially when I'm searching for certain colors. So I think I will keep doing that. And maybe in other media, I've been doing more in soft pastel lately, and I'm still searching for good greens for that. But for now, this is colored pencils. These are the ones that I like and use the most. Again, it's only my opinion. And feel free to let me know like what greens that you like, because I'm always on the hunt. I'm sure there are ones that I haven't got or haven't tried yet. So let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much. Bye.